What's up? What's up? All pro wrestling fans from all around the world of all shapes and sizes. Welcome to another Pro Wrestling Talk video brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. So, for this video, I will be reviewing WWE SummerSlam New Jersey, Night 1 and Night 2. So definitely got some thoughts on this as a whole. But let's go ahead and jump right into it. This year's SummerSlam took place at the MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. And for the first time in WWE history, SummerSlam is not one, but two nights. So, just like WrestleMania, but this time, SummerSlam. So, not necessarily a decision that I was a fan of, but here we are. Okay, 6 matches on night 1. So, let's go ahead and let's jump right into it. First match. Alright, started off with the tag team match where we had the team of Jey Uso and Roman Reigns taking on the team of Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed. Of course, Paul Heyman was in their corner. Match went a little over 21 minutes. Not originally what I would have imagined to start the show off. But, hey, pretty decent match. Of course, there was an interesting moment of where they ran back Jey Uso's theme during the match, which looked like Roman, was all about. And, it was pretty neat to see Roman kind of, reacting with the crowd and just kind of vibing with Jey Uso. We're so used to seeing a really, standoffish, angry, sort of stuck up Roman Reigns, but not this time. So it was just cool. It was just really cool to see Roman kind of just vibing. But decent match, hard hitting, definitely back and forth, and it was neat seeing Roman, take some bullets for Jey. And we saw barricades broken. We saw the use of the announce table. And it was just very much back and forth. A lot of action in the ring and outside the ring. But overall, I thought it was a pretty decent match. At the end of the day, Roman Reigns took a spear from Bron Breakker. He sacrificed himself, pushed Jey Uso out of the way, took the spear, gave Jey Uso the opening to really kind of dispatch of Bron Breakker as well as Bronson Reed. And while Bronson Reed was down, was able to capitalize by hitting a Uso splash and then pinned him for the 3 count. 1, 2, 3. Jey Uso, Roman Reigns are your winners. Of course, they were definitely selling the damage, but they're your winners. It was also noted that Bron Breakker was limping on the way to the back. There were some clips that I saw of that on social media. So hopefully he's all right. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, but, something to keep an eye out, with him limping like he was. But Jey Uso, Roman Reigns, your winners in the opening match. All right, let's go to our next match, which this was the first title match of night 1. All right, we had the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships on the line as the champions, the Judgment Days, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, defending against the team of Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Match was alright. I wouldn't say it was anything crazy special or anything like that. Pretty interesting finish though. But I mean, I can't say that this match was excellent or anything like that, but it wasn't trash. I don't know, it just really wasn't special to me. I mean, it is what it is. But there was a moment where Charlotte looked like she was going to attack Alexa Bliss as she was getting ready to set up to hit Roxanne Perez with Sister Abigail. There was, the camera cut. There was that hesitation. But Charlotte ended up taking out Raquel with a big boot. Alexa hit the Sister Abigail on Roxanne and then pinned her for the 3 count. And we now have new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions in Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. So, first title match ended up being a title change. So, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I mean, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez had been undefeated with these title defenses and whatnot, but it's going to be very interesting to see what happens, what they do as far as Roxanne Perez, who was pretty much replacing Liv Morgan while she was out with injury. So we'll have to see what they decide to do there. But the match was 13 minutes, 36 seconds long. So, Okay. Anyway, let's go to the next match. Here we go. Okay. Once again, they're running this one back. Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. Of course, Scarlett was in the corner of Karrion Kross. So, match was only 8 minutes, 10 seconds. So, wasn't really that long. If anything, to be honest, I'm just glad it's over with. I mean, nothing against Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross, but, I'd seen this matchup enough times to the point where it was never really an intriguing rivalry to me. But that's just me. I mean, others may have enjoyed that rivalry. It didn't really catch my attention that much. And the way it kind of went down, I was under the impression that Karrion Kross was going to take advantage. I know Sami Zayn had a chance to take out Karrion Kross with a metal pipe. And there's hesitation, thought about it, threw the pipe away, almost got rolled up for a 3, but was still able to fend off Karrion Kross, hit the corner exploder, hit the haluva kick, pin him for the 3 count. Sami Zayn with the win over Karrion Kross. And I think it's safe to say that this rivalry's done. Also saw some clips that Karrion Kross and Scarlett leaving the arena and slapping hands, greeting different fans. Not sure what's to happen, but the word is that they have not been offered new contracts. So this could be Karrion Kross and Scarlett's last appearance in WWE. I don't know. But word is they have not been offered new contracts. So this could be the exit out of WWE. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Karrion Kross had a great reception and whatnot. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, I like them both. I mean, I do like Karrion Kross and Scarlett. But I don't know. I think they're probably on their way out. I'm not so sure they're going to get their contracts renewed, but We'll see. Okay, next up we have our second title match. Here we go. Alrighty. We had the WWE Women's Championship on the line as the champion, Tiffany Stratton, defended against this year's Queen of the Ring winner, Jade Cargill. Okay. Match was just a little over 7 minutes long. Yeah. Match was not that good, y'all. I gotta keep it real. Match was not that good. And I know Jade has been on a roll. You know, has been winning matches. I mean, won the Queen of the Ring. But so the match was a little over 7 minutes. So there was a moment where it looked like Jade was going to win. She hit the Jaded on Tiffy, but on the pin attempt was in the corner of the ring. Therefore, Tiffy had her foot on the rope. Tried to go for an avalanche Jaded, got reversed. Tiffy took advantage, hit the PME. Prettiest moonsault ever. Cover 1, 2, 3. Tiffany Stratton still your women's champion. Now, I've already heard a lot, or maybe not a lot, but I've already heard some Jade Cargill fans are pretty upset that she didn't win. And I already know some folks are going to throw race into the mix as a factor. Y'all need to chill on that. Y'all need to chill. Let's keep it real. Fandom aside. Because don't get me wrong. Be a fan of who you want to be a fan of. Continue to show support. That's on you. Would never, tell anybody otherwise. But let's stop kidding ourselves. Jade is not good. She's not. I'm sorry, but she's not good. And it's continuously showing. Like, honestly, I really feel like she should have went through NXT. And honestly, at this point, maybe she should have gone through Evolve. Nothing against them, but let's keep it real, y'all. She's not that good. She really isn't. I appreciate the fact that she's gotten these opportunities. She's very athletic. I mean, she's got the sports background. She's got the body. She's got the look. I give her that. But y'all, it's not showing up in the ring. And I know folks are going to be like, oh, but what about what she did in AEW? She, was undefeated and all that. She got the Goldberg treatment. It's that simple. She got the Goldberg treatment. Not to mention, come on now. In her title run, keep in mind the people that she went up against in AEW. Come on now. Come on now. Like, I'm not saying don't be a fan of her. I'm not saying that. But can we at least be honest with ourselves with her in-ring work? Can we be honest with ourselves? Like, come on. I mean, folks want to say AEW. Like, I don't even think she's had 5 matches in AEW that went 10 minutes or more. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I know none of her title matches, she only had 1 title match, where she was TBS champion, where the match was 10 minutes or longer. And that was when she went up against, defended against Marina Shafir. Now, when she won the title, that was when she beat Ruby Soho. Yeah, that was over 10 minutes. But in her title reign, that's it. And she got the Goldberg treatment. Like, we gotta start kidding ourselves, y'all. Jade is not good in the ring. She's got the look, she's got the body, the fitness, all that. That's there. But seriously, y'all, like, let's keep it real. She's not that good. She's not that good. 1 second. Like, let's keep it real, y'all. I think she really would have benefited if she went through NXT first. I think she really should have went through NXT first. In all honesty. But yeah, man, that match wasn't good. And she's not ready to be a champion yet. A singles champion yet in the WWE. She's not ready. She's not ready. And it's okay to admit that. She's not ready. Like, heck, y'all know me. I love Koki Amare from Marigold. But not even she's ready yet. She still has a lot to learn in the ring, and she needs more added to her moveset. And that's okay. I'm a big fan of Koki Amare. But she also needs improvement, especially in the ring. You know, I'm going to keep cheering for her. I believe she'll eventually get there at some point. I believe Jade. I'm hopeful that Jade will get there at some point. Absolutely. But let's not kid ourselves, y'all. She's not good. At least not yet. And that's okay. It's nothing wrong with admitting that. We just have to hope that she'll keep working and that she'll eventually get there. I believe she will, but she ain't there yet. Like, it's ridiculous, man. Fans need to stop crying race the moment their favorites don't win. Like, seriously, that crap is annoying. Like, it's so stupid. It's stupid, it's ignorant. Like, need to stop crying. Stop crying race when your favorites don't win. It's like so freaking stupid. But anyway, that's all I got to say about that. But Tiffy time, still your champ. Match was meh. That's all I got. Alright, let's go to the next match. Here we go. Alrighty, we had this tag team match. The combo of Randy Orton and Jelly Roll versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. I gotta keep it real. I really did not care much about this match. It was dragged out. Match was a little over 17 minutes long, but I mean, kudos to Jelly Roll on taking the spots that he took, especially with the diving elbow drop or splash, one of the two from Logan Paul that he took on the announce table. I mean, mad kudos for Jelly Roll taking that and like all the other offense that he took. But honestly, it was really just a match that I just really didn't care much about. I don't like Logan Paul. I mean, I like Randy Orton. I like Drew McIntyre. And just, you know, God bless Jelly Roll. But just, I wasn't feeling this match. I really wasn't feeling this match. But, I mean, like I said, mad kudos to Jelly Roll. But I wasn't feeling this match. I mean, that was a pretty cool choke slam he gave Logan Paul. That was nice, but honestly, I really didn't care much for this match. But Logan Paul hits Jelly Roll with a Paul from Grace frog splash and then pins him for the 3 count. Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, your winners. I mean, I was just glad for it to be over. That's really all I could say, because I wasn't feeling it. And then, main event of night 1 came down to the World Heavyweight Championship on the line as the champion, the Ring General, Gunther, defending against CM Punk. Match went over 30 minutes. Pretty good match. Pretty good match, I will say that. You know, it was back and forth. I know there were plenty of moments where it seemed like Gunther was clearly in control. And, you know, it was good. I mean, I'll give it that. The match was good. And, man, the moment outside the ring where I could have sworn, I think Gunther bladed, and they were kind of trying to play it off like he, you know, broke his nose or whatnot, but it looked like he may have bladed. But, yeah, he busted open, face, forehead, everything all covered in blood. And, you know, it went back and forth overall. But when it was all said and done, it took 2 GTSs to put away Gunther. CM Punk with the cover, 1, 2, 3. CM Punk, your winner, is the new World Heavyweight Champion. For like 5 minutes. And then, all of a sudden, burn it down! Seth freaking Rollins' music hits. He comes out on crutches. Paul Heyman holding the Money in the Bank briefcase. He gave a warning. Hold on to that belt tight. It's only a matter of time. Only a matter of time. Turns around. Throws down the crutches. Takes off the leg brace. Takes his jacket off. And rushes to the ring with the Money in the Bank briefcase. Dispatches of CM Punk, hitting him multiple times with said briefcase. Does the official cash in. Hits the curb stomp. And pins CM Punk for the 3 count. And just like that, Seth Rollins is your new World Heavyweight Champion from a Money in the Bank cash-in. Something that he has done once before 10 years ago. I hate Money in the Bank with every fiber of my being. I'm going to say this, because I know that there are some fans, there's even a few friends of mine that, you know, were all about it, or, you know, like Money in the Bank, love Money in the Bank, can appreciate it, all of that. That's fine. Do you. You know, I always say that. You do you. But I will say this, and I'm going to leave it at that, and then I'm going to move on. Say what you want about Money in the Bank briefcase. The concept all that. But if you can't honestly see, regardless of who it is, veteran, rookie, newbie, multi-champion, it don't matter. If you honestly cannot see and understand that that type of cash-in, which happens 90% of the time, and when the women have done it, it has worked every time. In that same way, cheap cash-in. If y'all cannot see and understand that it is the cheapest way to put a title on somebody, you're extremely delusional. Regardless of how you feel about the concept of Money in the Bank, whether you like it, love it, hate it, despise it, don't matter. It doesn't even matter who wins the briefcase. If you honestly can't see and understand at least that it is that cheap cash-in, that it's the cheapest way to put a title on somebody, if you can't see and understand that, you're extremely delusional. Period. Period. That's all I got. Night one was overall kind of meh. But the first match and the last match were pretty good. I'll say that. The first match and the last match of night one thought were pretty good. Okay, well, let's move on to night two. Okay, night two, let's just say things got pretty interesting. But night two, let's jump right on in. First match to kick off night two of SummerSlam New Jersey. Okay, started off with the ladies. So, triple threat match for the Women's World Championship. You had the champion Naomi defending against Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. So first off, shout out to Naomi's father, who played electric guitar for her entrance for this match. Thought that was really cool. Overall, pretty enjoyable match. Match lasted 16 minutes, 21 seconds, but pretty enjoyable match. All three ladies looked good. I definitely liked at the start seeing Rhea and Io kind of double team Naomi and whatnot. I really liked the spot Naomi did Io Sky's little taunt, so I thought that was pretty cool. But overall, just very intense match between all three of these ladies. Definitely was awesome. I like all three ladies. And, you know, it was very fun, very entertaining. And Naomi was able to take advantage at the right time. Rhea Ripley hit Io Sky with a riptide. With an avalanche riptide. And Naomi was able to sneak up on Rhea as she was pinning Io and hit the schoolgirl roll up for the 1, 2, 3 to pin Rhea Ripley. Naomi steals it and is still your Women's World Champion. So congratulations to Naomi on retaining the title. She did have a handful of tights as well. So, there was that. But yeah, Naomi is your winner. And they also, I saw some clips on social media that, once again, Rhea Ripley carried Io on her shoulders to the, out of the arena. So, thought that was pretty funny. But Naomi was able to best Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. So, what's next for Naomi? Remains to be seen. But, great match. Great match to start off night two. Alrighty. Let's go to our next match. And this was this was a lot of fun. All right, next up we had the Tables, Ladders, and Chairs match. TLC action for the WWE Tag Team Championships. As the champions, the Wyatt Six, made up of Dexter, Lumis, Joe Gacy, defended against the teams of Andrade and Rey Fenix. DIY, that's Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa. Fraxium, that's Axiom and Nathan Frazier. The Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin. And the Street Profits, Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins. Oh man, this was a very chaotic match. Match lasted 16 minutes 3 seconds, but oh my god, the spots were all over the place. You know, it was really cool to see that both the Dudley Boys and the Hardy Boys were in attendance for this show, especially for this match, as in those are two teams, you know, very iconic when it comes to the Tables, Ladders, and Chairs match. And of course, you can't forget Edge and Christian, who weren't there, but still, big deal. But, oh man, the action was crazy. I mean, tables, ladders, chairs. I mean, we even saw B-Fab get involved, Candice LeRae, Nikki Cross, and, I hope Candice LeRae was okay. She took that long fall and went through a ladder, and she fell wrist first. So, I hope she's okay. I hope she's okay. So, that's the only thing. But, man, that was a crazy spot. But, I mean, each one of these teams just, this was a lot of fun. And I know it was very loaded. It was definitely very loaded. Because, I mean, there were a lot of teams. There were a lot of teams in this match. I mean, you had 6 teams. So, that can be a lot for a TLC match. But you know what? They made it work. It worked well. It worked really well. And even with the extra interference, Uncle Howdy at the end and whatnot. But when it was all said and done, the Wyatt Six was able to be the last team standing and was able to go up. Joe Gacy grabbed the tag titles, and therefore the Wyatt Six still your WWE Tag Team Champions. So, yeah. Incredible match. Very enjoyable from start to finish. But now it's going to be interesting to say, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the Wyatt Six. Who's really going to be the next pushed tag team to challenge them. So, we'll see. But that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. Alrighty. Let's go to our next match. Back to the ladies. Alrighty. Next up, we had the no disqualification match for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. As the champion, Becky Lynch defended against the challenger and former champion, Lyra Valkyria. Okay, so also for this match, Becky Lynch debuted her new entrance theme, which, not bad. This match went the distance, 25 minutes long. So, kudos to WWE giving both these ladies plenty of time. I mean, Becky and Lyra have such excellent chemistry together. Like, for reals. And this might, I don't know, this could be, the last time we see those two wrestle each other for a long while, especially, with the title. But This definitely showed that these two continues to have excellent chemistry in the ring. I mean, we see it on the main roster. We've seen it in NXT. I mean, these two ladies are awesome. So, it definitely showed. And with the different spots in this match. I mean, kendo stick, crowbar. I mean, Lyra was tied up with zip ties. Used the fire extinguisher. Like, there were a lot of great spots in this match. And it just really went the distance. Very enjoyable. I mean, just excellent. And of course, like I predicted, Bayley got involved. Had the chance to use the, I think it was the crowbar. It was either crowbar or the pipe on Lyra, but she didn't, and still attacked Becky Lynch anyway. But the turning point of the match was Bayley accidentally hitting Lyra Valkyria with a steel chain wrapped into a punch. Hit her, then Becky hit a manhandle slam on Lyra afterwards, pinned her for the 3 count. Becky Lynch, still your Women's Intercontinental Champion, and because of that, Lyra can no longer challenge for that title as long as Becky is champion. So, honestly, I definitely figured Bayley was going to cost Lyra the title, whether it was intentional or not. I thought it was going to be intentional, but at the end of the day, I think we're going to see probably more of these 3 ladies. I think, if anything, Becky and Bayley going to continue to feud. But I do hope at some point, as soon as possible, they start building up some new challengers for this title. I mean, after all, we've only had 2 champions, Lyra and Becky. So I'm really hoping they start to build some new challengers for this title. But the match was excellent. Love the match. Okay. Let's go to the next match. Alrighty. So, we had a steel cage match for the WWE United States Championship. The champion, Solo Sikoa, defending against the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu. I gotta be honest with y'all. This match, for a steel cage match, and for the competitors involved, this match was kind of weak. Only lasted 12 minutes, 37 seconds. To be honest with you, for a steel cage match, that's kind of short. So, I wasn't feeling it. I really wasn't feeling it. And it's a bummer. Because you would think with the competitors in this match, it would have been brutal. But nah. This was a weak steel cage match. This was pretty weak. At the end of the day, it really came down to a numbers game. I mean, Tangaloa, JC Mateo ended up interfering. Jimmy Uso tried to help out Jacob Fatu, but that was pretty short-lived. There were some close calls and whatnot, but at the end of the day, it took one last big boot from Tonga, shutting the door, hitting Jacob Fatu, and then opening it up for Solo Sikoa to escape the cage and retain the WWE United States Championship. But Jacob Fatu would get the last laugh, as, with the help of Jimmy Uso, was able to take everybody down, and then Jacob Fatu got up on the top of the cage, did a moonsault off the top of the cage, and popping back up like it was nothing. I gotta give him credit. The fact that he was able to pop back up right afterwards That was crazy. That was really crazy. But as incredible of a spot as that was, it would have been better if it was during the match and not after the match, especially after he lost. So, overall, I thought it was a very weak match. For that being a steel cage match between those two, Solo and Jacob, I thought it was weak. I thought it was very weak. But, I think really what this is going to end up doing, they're probably going to do another War Games at Survivor Series. And maybe they may do something like probably Roman Reigns, the Usos, Jacob Fatu versus Solo, JC Mateo, Tamatonga, or Tangaloa, I'm sorry, and Talatonga. They may do something like that, War Games, but I don't know. But I definitely don't believe it's over between the two groups, for sure. I don't think it's over. Okay. Now let's go to the next match, which unfortunately was the shortest match of night 2. And this was for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. As the champion, Dominic Mysterio defended against the phenomenal AJ Styles. So, match lasted 10 minutes, 41 seconds. Like I said, it was the shortest on the card. Very interesting that AJ came out in a lowrider with his son and wearing Eddie Guerrero-inspired ring gear. Yeah, that was weird. That was kind of weird. But I get it. You know, getting to Dirty Dom's head and all that jazz, so I get it. Honestly, the match was just too short. It was too short. That's really the big problem that I had with it. Of course, both competitors, you know, try to pull an Eddie Guerrero, lie, cheat, and steal, and all that. At the end, not a finish that I was really digging, but Dirty Dom loosened up one of his boots. The boot came off during a calf crusher. AJ almost took out the ref. Accidentally, that is. Dom took advantage of the opening, used the boot to knock out AJ Styles. And then he hits a frog splash. Covered him for the 3 count. Dominic Mysterio's still your Intercontinental Champion. But I just thought the match was too short. And it just really made the match kind of meh to me. So, yeah. Not sure what they're going to do going forward now that that's happened. But, I mean, but yeah. So, but we'll see what happens. But, anyway, let's move on to the main event. Because we got to talk. We got to talk about this main event. Because I got a little bit of beef to pick with this main event. Okay. So, the main event was a street fight for the undisputed WWE Championship. The champion, John Cena, defending against the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Okay. So, the match was 37 minutes, 42 seconds. So, almost 38 minutes. Okay. Now, the match, I mean, there was a lot of action, especially a lot of weapons as well. I mean, action was inside the ring, outside the ring. Got to see chairs, tables, of course. So there was definitely a lot of action. But what really rubbed me the wrong way was there was like at least 15 or 16 total finishers in this match alone. We saw AAs, we saw Crossroads, we saw hat trick AAs and hat trick Crossroads. Like, at this point, I truly believe that the finisher or the finishing move in WWE is completely irrelevant. It's completely obsolete. It faded away and now unclassified as obsolete. Finishers. I'm sorry, I don't care what type of match it is. There should not be that many finishers in a match. Period. The only exception, maybe the only exception, is an Iron Man match. Because that's for 30 minutes to 60 minutes. That's the only exception. That's the only exception. But there should not be that many finishers in a match. Especially when the rules are, win by pinfall or submission. And there was just too many AAs and Crossroads in this match. Not to mention both kicking out of the hat trick of their finishers. That's ridiculous. Like, the match just got severely overbooked. Not only that, well, I'll get to that part in a moment. But when it all came down to it, it took a Cody cutter through the table and one last Crossroads to put away John Cena for the 1, 2, 3. And there is the only title change of night 2, as Cody Rhodes is your new undisputed WWE champion. Now, here's what I don't understand. What was the point of the John Cena heel turn? To now all of a sudden, oh, he's face again, and him and Cody are cool now. They just battled it out. It's all cool now. They even hugged before the match and after the match. And it's just like, what? So, it was just very anticlimactic. Not to mention, I guess this is just their way of, with this being Cena's last year, here's a taste of him as a heel. And that's pretty much all we got, was a taste. That's all we got, was a taste. And then, out of nowhere, as Cody was leaving, Cena's alone, out of nowhere, Brock Lesnar's music hits. And Brock Lesnar comes out to the ring, had a little stare with Cena, gets into the ring, and hits Cena with an F5 and leaves. I guess Brock is cleared. I guess he beat the allegations. I don't know. But yeah, the big surprise, Brock Lesnar closing the show, hitting Cena with an F5. Now, here's the thing. This is what I'm thinking. Two things. One, I think there's a chance that Brock Lesnar might be Cena's retirement match. You gotta remember, Cena, Brock, that rivalry goes way back. And they pretty much kind of started WWE just about around the same time, if I remember correctly. But I think there's a chance that Brock Lesnar could be Cena's final opponent. Especially if they were to do it later this year, like, say, Survivor Series. Something like that. But I think this could be Cena's retirement match. It's against Brock Lesnar. One last time. 2. So, they announced that SummerSlam next year, which will be 2 nights, will be in Minnesota. I believe Minneapolis, Minnesota. And you know who's from Minneapolis, Minnesota. The Beast Brock Lesnar. I think perhaps that could be Brock Lesnar's last match. Because I really don't see him... I don't see him doing a whole lot more in the ring. So I'm honestly thinking SummerSlam next year in Minnesota could be Brock Lesnar's retirement match. Against who? I have no idea. But that's my guess. That's my guess. But overall, night 2 was definitely better than night 1 for SummerSlam. I mean, we're going to have to start getting used to SummerSlam now being a 2-day event. They did it. They did it this year. And they've already got it scheduled for August 1st and 2nd, I believe, of next year. 2 nights. So, we'll see what happens and whatnot. But, I mean, like I said, night 2 was better than night 1 in my opinion. But I'm not a crazy fan of SummerSlam being 2 nights, but this is pretty much the way it's gonna be. So guess we gotta gear up for it. But that's all that I got for this video. Let me know what y'all's thoughts were. What did y'all think about SummerSlam in New Jersey? Which night did you think was better? Did you like the matches? What did you think of the outcomes? And yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell while you're at it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. For another Pro Wrestling Talk brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the YouTube the Tube, my name is Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. Hope everybody has a blessed week to start off the month of August. And I will see y'all in the next video and our live stream. Peace.